What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Tamra, it's Friday, and we're here with another spooky nail tutorial. This week, it's Frankenstein meets Hello Kitty. So we did Beetlejuice meets Hello Kitty like 2 weeks ago, Beetlejuice and Lydia Dietz. They were amazing. If you didn't see them, they look like this, but go watch the video because they were literally quite possibly my favorite set that I've ever done. Possibly. So I was thinking, I'm like, let's just make this a series. I love Hello Kitty. I love spooky things. I love 3D nails. I love making tutorials. So let's just make this a thing. We'll just do a new spooky character every week. Maybe, if you guys like this, meets Hello Kitty. So spooky character plus Hello Kitty. Can't get any better. We'll just keep collecting them until Halloween. So, welcome if you are new and welcome back if you are not. If you like everything you just heard, you should probably keep watching, and you should probably grab a drink, grab a snack, get comfy, because we're gonna make some spooky shit. What's up, guys? How's your week going? Good, I hope. Mine's going pretty good. It went by fast, but don't they all? I feel like the weeks are just flying by. So let's get started. I screwed up and I didn't film me painting on the base layer. So I showed you what I used. It's the Clody Super Happy Neon Pink, you know, one of my faves. I just love those so much. I'm also showing you one of my other new stands from the punk edit that I just made. This is a single shaker skull stand, and I'm just obsessed. I've got them all sitting here, and I could just pick them up and look at them all day. I just have to share with you guys. I have to share all my obsessions with all of you, because I'm obsessed. And then on top of that base layer, I used this from Gel and Gel. It's so pretty. I wish I would have got the full collection of these so badly. So badly. I love them so much. I only bought 2 from Luna Beauty is who sells it, I believe. So pretty, so pretty. I love Gel and Gel. I think they make such good products. So I'm just doing a layer of that on the bottom. This part, not the most important. You can just do whatever you want as your base layer. Black, pink, glitter, cat eye, do whatever you wish. Encapsulate things. I like doing that too. And then we're gonna put a layer of a matte top coat on top, because you know me, if I'm doing nail art, I always say matte top coat underneath any type of nail art, whether you're doing 3D. Some people don't like a matte top coat before doing 3D work, but I do. And especially if you're painting nail art on a nail, always matte top coat. Otherwise, you're gonna have slipping and sliding all over. So now we're using the Gel and Gel. I was always calling this the Gagumi clay. And I had a feeling I was probably wrong. I was picturing it more, maybe it's like gummy clay, but I was told by, I believe, a subscriber on here. They said it's actually a soft K. Like in Korea, a 2 G's is actually a soft K sound. Excuse me. So it's actually kumi. I don't know how else to do a soft K other than k. Right? It's not like kumi. It's like kumi. Kumi clays. So, lesson there. I've never heard that in my life. I didn't know. 2 G's in Korea, soft K sound. Learn something new every day. You know? You do. So, we're taking some of this and we're going to make a ball because we need to make her face. So I have been loving the look, just like on my Beetlejuice nails, of a very plump face. Instead of like kind of flattening it out a little bit, I like it very rounded and fat. That's like I just love that look right now. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going for a very bulbous, chunky, if you will, face. I love it. Also, I feel the need to tell you this also because Lord, this lady on here, I had to mute her because she was driving me nuts. So in my video where I talked all about 3D clays, I tell you guys all the time that you always need to wear gloves because we don't want allergies, okay? Well, she was losing her shit that I didn't tell you guys that there's some clays that you don't need to wear gloves for. At first, I thought she meant something completely different at first because I'm like, who would fucking care about that? But no, that's what she meant. This is the only brand of clays that I own and that I can find that is HEMA-free. Is it HEMA, whatever. This brand of clays is HEMA-free. HEMA, the bad things. The bad things, it doesn't have that stuff in it, so you don't have to wear gloves when you use Kumi clays. Okay? Are you happy if you're watching? I hope you're happy. I would just prefer everybody just wears gloves, period, when they're using clay, because then you don't have to remember, like, do I wear gloves with this one? Do I wear gloves with that one? Just wear gloves. And it also, it's not just to protect your skin, but it's to protect your art that you're doing. Like, I feel like no matter what, your fingers are just grimy. You can wash them, you can scrub them, you can do whatever you want, but there's just always like little linties, oils, especially oil, like your skin produces oil all the time. So if you're just using your fingers, you might not get the same result. You might have like a, you just don't know. So just fucking wear gloves. My God, dude, she was driving me nuts. She was writing like a book and I'm like, dude, my channel, my rules. Don't be mean to me. Like, I can take constructive criticism if you're nice about it. Don't be a dick about it. She was very demanding. She was like yelling at me, telling me that she doesn't appreciate that I don't like tell you guys. I don't fucking know. It doesn't even matter. It's not important. But don't be rude. Don't be a little bitch, Kick rocks, if that's you. But I know we don't have none of those here. You guys are the best. You're the best. I've literally only had to block. Well, you can't block. I've had to mute like 3 people, I think. You're rude once and you're gonna be gone. I just am not gonna deal with it. I have enough anxiety. I'm not mean to you. I'm a nice lady. Unless you're mean to me, then that's all I'm gonna say. So, what are you guys doing this weekend? Anything exciting? Let me know. Leave me a comment. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. Oh, I have plans on Sunday now. I didn't, but I do now because now I have a hair appointment on Sunday. It was supposed to be the following Sunday, but my little hair lady is pregnant. And we were going to make my appointment a little bit later and then we moved it up a little because I'm like, it's cutting it a little close. Well, now things seem to be happening a little bit. And she's like, maybe you should just come on Sunday. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that because I'm scared. Like my extensions are like hanging. They're hanging because I skipped my move up last time and just did my roots because I'm like, I'm going to be back in like 4 weeks. I need my appointment. All right, so we're shaping out her little ears. If you noticed, I put down too little for her ears first. That was a mistake. You don't need to do 2 layers. I typically end up using too much and then have to cut some off. So this time I just used too little. So I just had to add more. That's what I did there. You don't need to do it in 2 layers. I just made a little mistakey poo. We all do it. So I just always have a hard time with cat ears. Like bear ears, so easy. Ball. Cat ears, pointy. It's just harder for me for some reason. So we just shaped those up. I didn't cure her bulbous head first. This is what I wanted to point out. If you noticed, or you can rewind, I used my pointy sculpting brush to like make little indents where her ears are gonna go right at the base, like the back of her head, right in between the nail and her head, so that I could put the clay for her ears like kind of right in that pocket and just set it in there so that it's not just sitting on top. It's kind of like in there. And then I used my brush dipped in alcohol and dabbed off on a paper towel and smoothed it all out and shaped her up. and then I cured it. I like not curing the head before I add the ears because I like to blend it all together, and that's harder to do if the head is cured and the ears are not, you know? It's easier to just all together. So if you're new, I did make a 3D, like I said, I've made a whole like 3D clay video, so you can also refer to that, but just real quick, how I blend out my clays and how I like get it all smooth is I always have a little bowl of alcohol next to me on a paper towel, and I have my little sculpting brush, and I dip it in the alcohol and I just dab it off on the paper towel so it's not like soaking wet, and I use that to just like pat and move things around. That's how I smoothed out the ears, that's how I shaped the ears. So that's like the number one thing when it comes to 3D nail clay is gloves. Gotta strap up, and alcohol, brush, paper towel, and you'll be good to go. You'll be great. I also like using just my little gloved fingertips to pat things out. So now we've already done like the base for her face, her eyes, her nose. Apparently you probably noticed, maybe you didn't, now I'm ratting on myself, but that her little black nose just appeared out of nowhere. Apparently I didn't film that somehow, which is bizarre, but I just used a little brush and went back and forth like this. So I have been doing this, and I love the look of it, is doing like a base layer for her eyes and her nose in black, and then going over it like this, like with her eyes, putting white on top of it, but leaving just the very rim of the black showing, so it ends up looking like you outlined the white eye in black, and it looks like you're very talented at lining at that, because the line is very, very thin and like perfect. Genius. So glad. I think I thought of that. Like, I didn't see anybody else like do that. I'm sure I am not the first one to do it. I know that, but sometimes I do smart things, you know? So I just love the look of it. I think it looks so good because I love a good thin, crisp outline, and this just does it without having to worry about like being all shaky and getting the outline. So I do the eyes, and then I take some yellow and do the same thing with the nose. So I just did the nose in black, and then I'm just gonna fill it in with yellow, and then just leave a very thin little outline so it looks like you were a pro at liner work. And we love that. We love when it's easy, and we didn't really have to do a whole lot, but it looks like we did. We love that. Also, I got a new mic that I can put on my camera and not on me, and boy is it nice. Boy is it nice. I can actually wear necklaces again, which I'm not today, but I can never wear necklaces when I'm filming because they like jingle jangle in the mic. So annoying. All right, so we are making, as you know, a Franken Hello Kitty. So she needs her big gash across her face. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm just using the black and a long skinny liner brush. And I am going from by her right ear down and kind of curved around her eye and then down underneath her chin. And I'm gonna do like a little bit wider up at the top because that's where her little gash, her little cut, her little owie is gonna be open a little bit. So I just wanna make it a little bit wider up there. This liner brush is from Tenchi, and she doesn't sell liner brushes anymore. So I have like the whole set from her, and I freaking love them so much. They're the thinnest brushes. Any brushes that I've gotten off of like Amazon, I've tried other ones and they're just not thin enough. But I was watching somebody else's YouTube video. I am horrible with remembering people's names. I want to say it's like Mini Alma or something. She makes press-on nails. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. But she is a affiliate with a brand that starts with an M. It's like MF something. And the liner brushes looked really, 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 really nice. So I think I'm going to order some from her just because like they go through wear and tear, and I'm so scared that they're going to end up like getting frayed and all messed up. And I don't want that. I need my liner brushes. These are the only ones that I ever use. I love them so much. So now we're taking red and we're just going over that wider part of the black, not the whole thing, just the wider part, because that's where it's going to be like open and bloody. So you're just going to take a little bit of red and do that and fill that in and cure. But yeah, apparently this brand that makes those brushes like used to make brushes for dentists. Who knew? I didn't know like what brushes do dentists needs. Sometimes I can't speak. What brushes do dentists need? Lord be with me. I swear English is my first language. So they originally made brushes for dentists, and now they also make brushes for nail techs because they realized like how similar they were, is what she was saying. So they just looked amazing, and they're really cool because it looks like the tops of like there's a handle, and then the tops of the brush where the brush is, it's like a magnet, I think. Somehow they like pop on and off so you can interchange them. Pretty cool. They also she had this little holder for them on her desk, and the brushes like go down, like you put the brushes down into it, so they're like covered in this little acrylic like case, but the case is black like all the way around except for the front is clear, so if you have like any gel on your brushes or anything, they're not going to cure. I just think they make very smart things, and now I need to go do some Googling and find them, and I hope she's in Canada, so I'm hoping that they're not like a Canada only brand because that would break my heart. All right. We are doing the stitches. So what I did is I used just a black liner and I just made all the little stitches. I ended up going over those stitches with the fine print or the Function of X fine print gel, which I didn't show because it didn't do anything in the end. In the end, I always use my Jim B thick top crazy gel, whatever the hell it's called, a very thick top coat. So when I did that, it took like the slight like embossing 3D elements completely away. You can't even feel it when I touch it. So I just didn't even mention it. I wanted them to have like a little bit of texture to them, but it disappeared. So you can keep that in mind. If I would have used like a thin top coat at the end, they probably would have stayed that way. Or I could have top coated and then added the fine print embossing gel on top, because that is also non-wipe, but oh well, it is what it is. So I just used a black gel basically and just painted. I think I probably would have made them a little bit thinner, but I was trying to make the edges like a little bit square. Like I had an inspo pic that if I remember I'll post, but oh well, you know. So now we're doing where her little bolts are. So my plan with this was to I just used, as you saw, the little dotting tool to do a dot on each side where I wanted it. And then I wanted it to look kind of shadowed. So I used the Money for Nails, any jelly black that you have, that's what you can use as like a shadow gel. So I just used some of that, and after I did that black dot, I cured it, and then I went around that black dot just with like a thin liner brush, or you could use your dotting tool and just go. That'd probably be easier, honestly. And I just used that jelly black around that black dot to make it look like there's like a shadow, because we're gonna make 3D bolt elements. So I just wanted it to look like there was like actually a little shadow from the bolts, you know? So now I don't have a gray clay. Why does nobody, I guess because everybody would just mix white and black, but it would be kind of nice to just have a gray. I don't think I do. The only ones that I can think of is like possibly that I would have a gray with are the Jin B quad clays, but I don't think so. I would have to look. I'm like 99.9% sure. Anyway, so we're mixing the Cresania black and white together, and I had to mix it up a lot until we just get a gray, because that's what color the little bolts are. They're metal. So this, I didn't know how difficult this was going to be. It actually wasn't that difficult. So I did the little snake trick that one of you, actually a couple of you told me about. When you're doing like more than one of the same like little like balls or something, you can make the little snake and then cut it in equal parts, and then all your little balls or all your little pieces are gonna be the same size. Magic, amazing. So that's what I did. I wanted 2 little pieces to use as the base for the bolts that stick out. So I had to make them pretty small because I wanted them like decently skinny. I didn't want like a big old fat bolt. So I didn't use very much. You don't need much at all. You're just gonna take a little bit and like twist it, not twist it, but go like this so you have like a thin little snake, basically. And then you can just stick it right where the middle of the bolt is right here. Stick it down. I didn't have to put any like glue or anything on there, it just stuck. But that might depend on like what clay you're using, but this stuck just fine. So I just put it on there, and then I used my brush that I had dipped in alcohol and dabbed off on the paper towel. And I just kind of shaped it up until it was like as perfect of a circle as I can, or a cylinder, I guess. And then just made sure the top was flat, because now we're gonna put on the little bolt top. So it's gonna look kind of like a little mushroom. So this, I did try to put the little top of the bolt on, just the clay, but it was just falling off. So I took some of my Crazy Top Thick Gel. You can also just use any like gem glue that you have, any sticky something. Probably even like a top coat, just something like a clear gel that you can put on top of there, and now put the top of the bolt on. So the top of the bolt, I just made a ball, pretty small, but you just want it to be fatter than the base of the bolt, the little cylinder. So you're just gonna plop that on top, and then same thing with your brush. Just pat very lightly. You need to be very delicate here, because otherwise your shit's gonna just kick the bucket. So you're just gonna pat, 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 and then kind of go around the edges and just make sure it's nice and round, and it just looks like a bolt. It honestly wasn't that hard. It just takes like a little bit of patience and a little bit of you just being careful, because it's so small. It's so delicate. Bolts apparently are just a delicate little thing, you know? Very demure, very mindful. That's what the bolts are. And now we are going to make her bow. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do her bow in neon pink or black. Obviously I settled on black. I figured like the background is pink. I love black, you know, obviously. The majority of time you see me, I'm in all black. And I'm in a hooded sweatshirt because it's been cold again. Actually, it wasn't that cold today. I was a little warm, but I wanted to wear a sweatshirt. I love hoodies, are my favorite thing. That's what I love most about fall. Throwing on a big old hoodie and you're good to go. Comfy cozy, love it. Is it cold where you guys are? It's been in like the 50s, 60s, but then some days it's like in the 70s. You just never know what you're gonna get. But this morning I woke up and it was like super foggy outside, and I'm like, ooh, yeah. Fall time. So for the bows, I did the little snake trick again, rolled it up, cut it in half, so I had 2 equal parts for both sides of the bow, and then I just basically rolled it up so it was nice and smooth, put it where I wanted it, which is usually her bow is like right by her ear right here. Right there. So I just put one here, and then I made the shape. I used my fingers a little bit to like pinch it and get the semi shape of a triangle. And then I just used my little pointy tool and my brush to finish smoothing it out and shaping it up into a little triangle. And I did the same with the other side. I also use that little pointy silicone tool. I always, with my bows, right where they meet, I always take that little silicone tool and like push down and like go like this to make like a little indent, because I feel like that's what makes the bow look more realistic. I love doing that. I always do it because I feel like that's just what bows look like. They always have like that little indent there. So I love using that little pointy silicone tool to just, and then you just kind of wiggle back and forth so it's wider at the wider end of the bow there. And yeah, easy. And then I just put another little ball right in the middle where the bows meet. What is that called? The what of the bow? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to give it away. Write it in the comments. What is it called? Starts with a T. I'll give you that. Starts with a T, ends with a T, rhymes with ain't. If you've been here for a while, you know. So I always just put that in the middle of the bow. I just use a little ball and then I tap it down and I kind of push it to both, like the top and the bottom of that center portion of the bow. I use my little pointy brush and push down a little bit once it's pushed down that way, and same with the other end. So it just kind of like wraps around. It looks like it's wrapping around that section of the bow. And then you're good to go. You're all done. Easy peasy. You got the cutest bow you've ever seen. Now I just can't leave it with just the head on there, okay? I always have to do something a little more. So I made 2 hearts, 2 3D hearts. I figured the Beetlejuice ones, I put black and white striped hearts one on Beetlejuice's nail, one on Lydia Dietz' nail, and I also on theirs I use like a little frilly, like I use 3D clay to make like the little frilly border around the heart, which I kind of wish I would have done on this. I was just tired. I was having a rough day yesterday. I did not feel good. It took me so long to get started on this one nail because I felt like nauseous and like sick. I don't know what was going on, but so for the bow, I just do the same thing basically that I did, or not the bow, the heart. The same thing that I basically did with the heart is I just make a little ball so it's nice and smooth, put it down, and then I shape the like pointy end with my fingers first and just kind of like get a rough shape of a heart. And then I used my brush and my silicone tool to finish shaping it out, smooth it out. If I like my hearts to not have like an angled edge, I like to smooth them out so they're kind of like rounded and they just look like plump, you know? And then we're gonna use this purple to make one more heart. These clays also are all glow in the dark. Very, very cool. And I always forget to show you guys what these nails look like in the dark, now that I think of it. Also, you notice that I'm only making one nail. My thought process is, since we're doing like a series of these now, I figured I would do one nail because for one, I just do not have the time to do, like that whole hand of Beetlejuice nails took me an entire day of sitting at my desk and working on them, and then another entire day to edit the video, do the voiceover. So that's 2 full days out of my week. And I try to keep my work week during the week if I can and not on the weekends. So I only have so many days. But I figured if I could whip out one nail, then by the time we got to the end of the series, I'd have a whole hand worth. Because now we have 3. We have Beetlejuice, Lydia Dietz, and Frankenkitty. So we only need 2 more, and then we'll have a whole hand, and then we'll have like the coolest whole hand of nails that anybody's ever seen. So the last video, we'll have all of the nails, we'll try them on, and it'll be so cute. So every nail I'm gonna use the same shape of nail, an XL square, and just kind of like keep in mind that I'm putting them all as a set. Very excited about that. So there's the hearts. Hearts are pretty easy. You just need to like, I think the easiest, or it's best to just get the shape down with your fingers first and then just like kind of tap out the rest of it. Push in the top with a little choop, and then just pat, 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 you're good to go. Okay, this yogurt Ballerina 2 collection I love so much. So this is like the milky white, you know, like every set I have to use a milky white something. Here it's a milky white glitter. I love it so much. So I just wanted to add something else to the hearts. I felt like they just weren't cool enough. So I just wanted to add a layer of this glitter gel on top, and I'm glad that I did. It turned out so cute. Like I said, I wish I would have put like little ruffles around the heart, but I was a tired lady and I was probably hungry. They turned out really cute. I really like them. I need to take all these home. This is what I'll do. When I finish the whole hand, I promise I will get them in the dark so you can see them all glowing in the dark, because that's so important. Now this Money for Nails black glitter, I just figured I would throw it on the bow. She needed some glitter on the bow. Oh, and I put I think I showed this, I just forgot to mention it. On the top of her bolts, I used I'll have it linked, I forget the name of it. But it's the like glittery silver shade of the Function of Vex fine print gels. I use that just on the top of the bolt, the little bulbous round part. I just wanted to make that like look more like metal, like sparkly metal. So I use that there. This black glitter gel just reminded me that I didn't mention it. So yeah, we're just painting the bow with black glittery gel, and then we're just about done. Pretty easy, honestly. This really wasn't that difficult at all. Like, I feel like I know all of you can do this if you have products to do it. If you don't have all of these products, just use what you got. Use what you got. It's okay. If you just have like a white 3D clay, use that and paint it. Or if it's the texture that you can, with the clay, mix it with 3D gel like on a palette first. I honestly haven't tried that, but I know you can. I think if it's more of like a softer, like not these kumi clays, I don't know if you could, I don't think you can mix gel with that because it's so like bouncy and shiny. But like the Cresania clays, if you had that in white, the Sissy clays, any like soft like Play-Doh type clay, you could totally mix that with gel. Or just paint it afterwards, no biggie. So use what you got. All right, guys, we're all done. If you made it to the end, leave a pumpkin in the comments. I always forget to say that part. But oh, they're so cute. All right, guys, I hope you guys have the best weekend ever. Let me know what you think. If you are down for this series, if you're excited about it, let me know in the comments. Let me know which nail is your fave so far, Beetlejuice, Frankenkitty, or Lydia Dietz. And I will see you guys next week. I love you guys. Bye.